Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Balanced Life, Happy Life. And as you can see, our special guest this evening is Diamond Wellness Consultant Maggie McKee, who hails from the western part of Canada, that's BC. She is a long-standing consultant with Nikken, very successful, a great spokesperson, certainly a great representative of Nikken. My name is Mike DiMuccio. I am not tonight's host. I'm pitch hitting for Jeff. And Debbie, would you mind muting? And I'm just going to go ahead and get you started, Maggie, so that I can work the backdrop and get everybody going properly. Maggie McKee.
Thank you so much, Michael. It's always an honor to be introduced by you because we have spent so many years as Nikken consultants and they're on different stages. We live in different provinces, but we get together even more often with Zoom. So I appreciate that. And the thing about Nikken that has stood with me ever since I was introduced 30 years ago is this concept of humans being more. I didn't get it at the beginning. It didn't make much sense. But when I look at the picture of this woman, I am a singer like you, Michael, and this is how I feel every Wednesday when I'm singing with my band. And we just belt it out. And it's such a joy. And I really feel at that moment that I have captured the essence of a human being more because I didn't always do this. I was too busy to do a lot of the things I do now. So I want to, share a little bit of my story with you tonight and hopefully inspire you to see possibilities for yourself as we move through this presentation. So Michael, you want to forward that? So when I was introduced, so let me tell you a story. 30 years ago, the phone rang. I was living in northern British Columbia, working full-time as a professor, and I was also a full-time student in another province. We didn't have the internet. I was a single parent. I had two sons in university. I mean, the stress went on and on. All of the things that you see here that create stress were operating in my life. And I know that a lot of people are dealing with so many factors of stress. Trying to maintain the best lifestyle they can and be there for their families. There's so much going on. So I was really stressed. I had been hurting for 30 years. I had spent so much time and money looking for solutions that weren't more of the Western medicine, which I didn't want to partake of anymore because it hadn't solved the problem for me. So I was on the lookout when the phone rang, and my friend said, "I think I found something exactly what you're looking for." And I had forgotten. I'd asked my friends, if you find something. And I said, "What are you talking about?" She said, "Well, I've just connected myself with an amazing concept out of Japan, and she was a healthcare professional. So when she told me that she and her husband had both received tremendous results from the Nikken Wellness Home, which I'll explain in a minute, but she also said, I saw such great potential for having less stress and having an extra income and spending more time with my family." So I was hooked. I actually flew down to Vancouver to experience the wellness home, and this is one of the first things she showed me, this 5 pillars of wellness. Now, as a professor, I'd been developing curriculum for my students, and I was using a balance wheel similar to this to help students figure out where they were and where they wanted to go in their futures. And so when I saw this, I felt a tremendous connection to Nikken. And the 2 pillars that she asked me which 2 I would see as top priorities to improve my balance. And I immediately said my body, of course, and finances. And over the 30 years that I've been involved, Michael, and I think I've heard you say the same, it's those 2 top most people's list when we ask this question. And it's not surprising considering the way the world is right now. So we're going to ask you to make a note of the 2 top priorities for yourself so that as we go through this, you can open your imagination to possible solutions like I found, and I know Michael has found as well. So let's carry on to the next one. Now, this is really an interesting slide because I'd only ever thought about the compound effect with investments, investing a little bit of money over time, getting ready for retirement. And of course it works there, but it works everywhere. Because when we make small choices, it doesn't have to be a big deal. You don't have to have $100,000 to invest in a business like Nikken. A small choice, like becoming part of this Nikken wellness community and making goals for yourself in these areas: income, health, relationships, happiness, success, and making those choices consistently over time produces a radical result. And it goes both ways: good choices, radical difference on the upscale; bad choices, radical difference on the downscale. So let's look at two contrasting countries here. Nikken started in Japan 50 years ago, and I was so excited when I heard that these technologies were from Japan, because I knew that they had a very high health index rating, and they've maintained that number one position as the healthiest country in the world. And look at Canada, number 34, and the US, number 68. We're not doing a very good job over here, folks. And look at the longevity: 10 more years of life expectancy in Japan than there is here, and a third of the cost per capita for healthcare in Japan as here. And so little obesity compared to North America. So what is the difference? Look at the bottom. The difference is we're into sick care, which is intervention. Japan is always focused on self-care. The doctors are paid to keep you well. What a concept. Now, our government is obviously not doing that, but what can we do in this area now that we have what we have from Japan? So all of these risk factors have been identified as things that add to the body burden. So many people don't sleep well. We know our air quality is really poor, especially indoors. I think it's the fourth leading cause of death in the world is poor air quality. We don't have to say much about poor water quality. I think Michelle, who's going to talk later, there's been a boil water advisory in her province for a while in some areas. And malnutrition, we are overfed and undernourished. And it's showing up now, unfortunately, in our children. Obesity in children is becoming rampant. So we have all of these challenges. And one of the biggest ones I see is the electrosmog. All of the electricity and Wi-Fi that has been added in the last 50 years has had a profound effect on many people's lives. Very sensitive people feel that, and it affects their health profoundly, as you can see on this slide. So what can we do? Well, what we can do is what we can do. We can take responsibility to take care of ourselves, and we can choose active wellness. We can be healthy by choice, not by chance. And I was trying to do that. I was spending so much time and money looking for natural solutions. So when Nikken came along, it was like, oh, yes, it exists somewhere. I knew it had to. And when it showed up, I went, wow, okay. And the 5 pillars of wellness, I look at this now and I think, wow, I had it all in terms of stress. And now I have, 30 years later, I'm just so much more relaxed. I'm happier. I'm healthier. My family's healthier. We spend lots of time together, and I live in a state of joy most of the time. So what else, can we show you here?
Do you ever have days where everything in your life feels in balance? When your mind is clear and your body feels in tune with nature? When everyone in your family is healthy and happy? When you belong to and support a warm, loving community? When you have a stable income and no debt? Mind, body, family, society, finances. Nikken calls these 5 areas of our lives the 5 pillars of wellness. We help you cultivate balance in all 5 areas of life with the tools that build your wellness home. Because to breathe is to live. We focus on clean air. Because water is life. We focus on pure water. Because healthy food nourishes strong bodies. We focus on nutrient-dense organic ingredients. Because everyone needs restful sleep and energy to feel joyful. We focus on rest, relaxation, and magnetic support. And to keep you as youthful looking as you feel, we focus on naturally sourced marine organic skincare. Our vision is to share the 5 pillars of wellness with everyone. And we want to spread the word throughout the world. Because once you achieve a balanced lifestyle, Wouldn't you want to help everyone you know to achieve the same wonderful life of active wellness? That's what we offer everyone who is part of our global wellness community. Join Nikken to build your wellness home and live a life in balance. Discover it, live it, share it.
And that's exactly what happened for me. As I said, I'd been hurting for 30 years, and I looked at this and I went, this is the best solution. I couldn't even imagine something as amazing as this. So I invested in the whole wellness home right away. And I got up one morning, not too long after I'd become a Nikken consultant, and I stood there trying to figure out what was wrong or what was different. I felt different. And I realized that for the first time in 3 decades, and the first time in 30 years, I was able to get out of my bed, which is now a Nikken bed, in one movement, not micro movements to get to the edge of the bed and slowly stand up to not even a very straight level because I hurt so much. And I was able to walk to the bathroom standing up straight. So it was one of the most amazing. I mean, I'm just talking about it now. I can feel it. I can see it again. And it was so profound. And that wouldn't have happened if I didn't take this as an opportunity and apply it. I mean, it's there, but I had to take the action to create my wellness home. And the beauty of it is it's all based on nature. And Nikken for 50 years has been studying nature and mimicking what nature gives us so that they can create the technology to have that in our homes. I mean, that's brilliant in my opinion. Having grown up on a farm,
In a
I
world
loved it.
constantly evolving, we've found inspiration in nature's timeless solutions, hidden in plain sight, waiting to be discovered, readily available outside our doors. This is biomimicry, the art of learning from and emulating nature's brilliance, solving our problems and creating sustainable solutions. Nature is our guide, offering forms more efficient than we ever imagined, processes ahead of cutting-edge technologies and systems refined over billions of years. The human body is a highly sophisticated biological system that has evolved to be efficient, adaptive, and resilient. Incorporating principles of biomimicry for human body functions not only leverages the efficiency and adaptability of natural systems, but also aligns with the broader goals of sustainability and environmental harmony. In a natural environment, the spring water is filtered, purified, and filled with minerals that are essential for maintaining optimal functions in our body. The emulation of these natural compositions generates an exceptional source of the ideal water that every cell in our body needs for smart hydration. The Earth's magnetic field influences organisms in many ways: navigation, finding their way, or even for communication. By using magnetic and massage stimulation, we are seeking to influence the body's natural responses to restore balance and support in our increasing stressful world. Air abundant in negative ions can be experienced as a fresh air feeling, such as the revitalizing air near waterfalls and forests. Ionization technologies enhance indoor air quality and overall wellness, bringing pure air to our home. Ceramic reflective fibers work like the sun's spectrum, bringing this comforting technology to our homes. Using energy from our bodies and the environment, these fibers gently reflect a soothing warmth, promoting a sense of well-being for less stress, restful sleep, and vital energy. Our overall approach aims to bring balance in the 5 pillars of wellness by bringing nature into your home. Together, we can make a better world where we not only survive, but thrive. And you? How do you connect with nature?
I know this is a lot to take in a short time, and it really is designed to trigger your curiosity and encourage you to take the next steps with the person who invited you to have a look at this, so you too can experience and discover the Nikken Wellness Home. And the easiest way to describe it really is that it's a greenhouse for humans. I guess basically we're plants with complicated feelings or something, because we have the same needs. We need fresh air, fresh water, nourishing water, restful sleep, nutrition, and energy. And that's what we get in the Nikken Wellness Home. So there's a beginning to the wellness home and no end, because it's a research company. So these five vital elements continue to grow and expand. In my 30 years in the business, I've seen tremendous improvements as well as additions to the Nikken Wellness Home in the air, water, sleep, nutrition, and natural energies that replicate nature. So let's have a bit of a closer look at this by telling you more about how this affects people. And I know, Michelle, I asked you to talk about your business experience, which I'd like you to weave into some things about the technologies, the wellness home, because I know that you and your family and your grandchildren and your children enjoy the all the features of the Nikken Wellness Home. So can you come to the stage with Michael's help and share with us about why you're so excited about being part of the Nikken Wellness community?
Thank you, Maggie, and thank you for inviting me tonight. Every time that I tell my story, it brings me back to a long time, and I have a look at the journey that I have traveled with Nikken, and it's amazing how where I am today compared to where I was. And what I mean by that is I was in a position when Nikken discovered me. I was in a position that I was hurting really bad, just like you, very, very, very badly. And I had hit the bottom of the barrel, didn't know what else to do, couldn't find a solution to help me feel better. And one of my customers at the bank approached me and said, I think I've got something that might help you. And he took his necklace off and he loaned it to me. And I thought, oh, you're kind of crazy. Like, really? I can't take this. What's my husband going to say when I come home with new jewelry from one of my customers? I don't think he'll understand. Anyway, I was encouraged to try it, and I did. And I was very grateful because in less than a week, I'm noticing a difference. And he tried to explain the technologies to me, and I was still really leery, really didn't understand until I got results with my son. And that's what caught my attention. So people were asking me, what are you doing? You look amazing. Like, what's happened? And I said, well, and I told them about Nikken, and I told them about the necklace, and they kind of looked at me kind of sideways because this was all very new, 25 years ago, right? So they kind of looked at me, and I said, you know what, go talk to Todd. He can explain it. Todd finally said to me, you got to stop doing this. He says, why don't you can make the money. He says, I'll show you how to do it. And I said, oh, I don't have time. I don't have the time. I got kids. My husband's on the road all the time. I just don't have time. And he said, but you are doing it. Let me show you the results from doing what you're doing. And so that's how it began. And I'm so glad that I have, because having the wellness home, oh my gosh, I am so blessed to live in an environment where I live. I was born and raised in Toronto. I now live in Meadow Portage, Manitoba. So that's on the very north shores of Lake Manitoba, and we're right on the lake. It's glorious. I have farmland here. I just today finished getting my vegetables out of the garden and put away. I put my garden to sleep, and I get to live like this compared to the way I was living in Toronto, like night and day. Thank you, Nikken.
I love how you always connect with nature, Michelle. And one of these days, I'm going to get to your beautiful home in Manitoba, and you're going to get to mine out here in BC. But we'll see you in California soon anyway. So thank you,
Sure.
Michelle. Thanks very much. So that's what we do. We share stories. We share how Nikken connects us with nature and how that has helped us. And as I said, there's a start to a wellness home and no end. So a lot of people start with water because water is a big issue. If you're drinking tap water, you're putting yourself at risk because we don't know what's in the water anymore. And we know that, I know, Michelle, you had boil water advisories recently, and that happens way too often in Canada. So let's drink fresh, clear water, and let's look at what Nikken offers us. This is what I think is so brilliant. You don't have to understand the technology. You don't have to become a consultant. You can become a consumer, as we'll talk about in a minute. However, if you want the whole meal deal, it's there for you. We have 3 packs. The water pack has not just drinking water, but shower water and portable water. Brilliant. And it's just like the fresh water that we used to have when we used to climb in the mountains here. There's the energy pack, which gives you everything to stay balanced during the day. You know, I had a lot of issues with my back, my hips, my legs, and everything that you see in this picture in the middle has helped me to be comfortable and productive during the day. And I believe the most important part of wellness is sleep. So the sleep pack, I think, is absolutely essential. So why not get it all? I didn't have the money, I didn't have the time, but I had a credit card and I had cracks of time. So that's how I started 30 years ago. And I think that that's absolutely an amazing way to begin a business. One of our latest products is something that's really big on people's minds. Collagen, you hear about collagen everywhere. And I had looked at different collagens and I wasn't sure I could trust the manufacturing, but I knew I could trust Nikken. So when they introduced the collagen in the spring, I was on it right away. And I have seen great results, even on top of everything else I've experienced. This has helped with my skin, my hair, my joints, my sleep, everything. So I live in this environment, and it does feel like I felt when I was growing up on a farm. So let's look at the choices. Discover it, live it, share it. You can become a customer, a consumer, and the person who is your connection to Nikken will keep you up to date. And you can start your wellness home and build it as quickly or as slowly as you want. But you know what's going to happen for most people, as it happened to me, is I couldn't stop sharing my results. So why not become a consultant, upgrade to being a consultant where you're directly connected with the company for about $50 Canadian, and you have a free website, you have access to all the research and development, and Nikken does, as we'll see later, all the heavy lifting. So you can have a small business. Or if you're like me and you just love building communities, become a community builder, become a leader in Nikken. And it doesn't happen overnight, but boy, it's sure worth it. So we have so many ways to help you. Active wellness is something that we can all do with the right tools. So that's the start. And collaborative entrepreneurship. I have never liked competitive kinds of things. I love that we're in a collaborative environment with Nikken. We share, we help each other, we share things, and we're learning how to become successful entrepreneurs with the help of other successful entrepreneurs. So if you look at this is one of my favorite slides because I didn't know this. I was part of the old school, go to school, get a good education, get a job. And if you look at the left-hand side of this picture, that's where most people are. 95% of the population is either an employee or self-employed. I grew up on a farm. My father was self-employed, so he was 20% of the population. The other employees, 75% of the population. That's where I went. And I was feeling very much like this woman in the box. I had no leverage. Any penny I made, I had to trade time for it, and the government took most of it anyway because I had no tax benefits being a teacher, and so I didn't know about this other side. I knew about franchises, but nobody has the kind of money that you need to start a franchise anymore. Very few people. So I thought that was out of my reach, and I certainly have admired people like Warren Buffett who are able to invest money and make money, and I was doing a little bit of that for myself. But when Nikken showed me how to move from the left hand side, where I was trading time for money, over to the right hand side, where we create multiple streams of income by helping other people also have that opportunity, I was like, oh my God, this is so perfect. Nikken is the people's franchise, I call it, because it's affordable. It doesn't, you don't have to pay that company every month regardless. You get paid whenever you help the company. So there are other things that have popped up in the last 30 years that people really recognize because they have systems. The system is the key. Amazon has a system and they have a platform. That's how they've reached people exponentially and become a leader in the retail sales. The same thing with Uber. They don't own a single taxi, but they're the biggest taxi company in the world. I just love that because, you can become an Uber driver. You just need a car and a license and a lot of money for insurance and your own gas and so on. But you can make money on the side. A lot of gigs out there. The thing I love about Nikken is they have a system that you can leverage, and it's not limited because Uber drivers can't create other Uber drivers. They have their own business and that's it. We can create other Nikken consultants. We can build a team wherever Nikken has operations in the world. So it's very, very scalable, and the leverage is amazing. The fact that you can do it anywhere appeals to most people. I know that a lot of the Gen X, the younger generation from me, love to just live anywhere and be what do they call them? Nomads, digital nomads. You can do this business from anywhere, just on a cell phone. Seriously, you don't even need your computer anymore. Everything is there. So what do we do? I want to just show you how simple this is. 30 years ago, I joined Nikken, and I started with commitment and plan to enjoy everything Nikken had to offer. And I wanted some extra cash because I wanted to help my kids in university and so on. And luxury trips, I've been many places with Nikken. So that was the first step, just becoming involved. And then investing in the products, investing in a business so that these wonderful products and the business opportunity and the cause, the 5 pillars of wellness, was so natural to promote and share. Just like you share a good movie or a good restaurant, you want people to know what you're enjoying. So it's easy to share. We invite people to check it out without any pressure and help them to find what suits them best. It could be the products, as I said, as a consumer, the business, or both. And then the part I really like, because I always thought I can't do a business. I'm not good at numbers and all of that. I don't want to have inventory. I don't want to have to do the research and development and warehousing and paying and all of that. Nikken does it all. We do the sharing, they do the rest, and they reward us every week for our retail sales and every month for the other sales, the commissions and special offers, etc. So it's very simple, and there's a wide range of ways to make money that you can see here. Everything from retail profits to leadership bonuses when you build a team, and it's all about being part of a global community where you're celebrating other people's successes, enjoying the lifestyle perks for yourself, and reaching your potential, which I could not do that as a professor. I was stuck in a box, and I just love the freedom that we have now. So yeah, it's really a great opportunity. Not for everybody, but if it's for you and you want to take advantage of this, the leadership development, the collaborative entrepreneurship, like I was saying, where you learn from experienced leaders who love to teach you because it helps them as well to grow their team and their skills. Low cost of entry, which is really big nowadays, and it you don't have to change your lifestyle. I mean, I now work from home and have done since I left teaching 27 years ago because I wanted to not have all that stress. I wanted to work from my home and enjoy my family. It integrates so easily into your life. You don't have to quit your job. I chose to because I wanted this freedom. And I love the system. And we now have a tremendous rhythm of the business system that Michael has been key in developing. So every Tuesday night we have this call. Wednesday night we have a call featuring the products. Thursday night is a special call for people who want to look at the details of the business. And then Monday, the people who have decided to become part of the team have a Monday night call with strategy and support from Michael and other leaders. So it's the perfect weekly plan, and it's about helping others, because this is all, leadership levels that don't mean anything to you if you're just looking at this, and they become part of what happens as you build, because you have all the support of others. You're in business, for yourself, but not by yourself. There's just so much support. And I like this slide because it's a great, as we're nearing the end of the call, a great way for you to see what this looks like. Up at the top in that circle, that's you in the middle, you and your wellness home in the black circle. So as you reach out and talk to people and invite people to have a look, you'll develop some customers. In this picture, there are 5 customers and 3 people have decided to join you. This is the basic business structure. So that's where you start, with the help of your leaders and other people in the business. And then what you do is you teach other people to do the same. So your 3 leaders find 3 leaders, and they find 5 customers. So you can, even if you're not good at math, you'll see this, because it's exponential growth, because those 9 people then find their people. And as this builds out, you're having a greater influence on people. You're having a bigger impact on the planet, because you're helping people to connect to nature, and everything that we do is very conscientious in terms of protecting the environment, and the profits come as a result of that. So you've got the income, the influence, the impact, and it really does, it's fun. And time, 30 years from now, you're going to be 30 years older as I am, and you could have this, or you could still stay in the box, which Michelle and I and so many have chosen not to do. And I love the global wellness community. Of all the things, I heard Ben Woodward say, his favorite product is the people. And I agree. Every morning, Michelle and 4 or 5 of us get together for a check-in call. We're spread out all over Canada and the United States, and we connect and we support each other. We care about each other. We have so much fun. We laugh together. We play together, and it's great, because we're going to be meeting for the 35th anniversary of North America next week in Long Beach, California. And then after that, it's the 50th anniversary of Nikken next year. So we do have fun, don't we, Michelle? So thank you so much, everybody, for being part of this evening. And this is just a teaser. So we want you to speak with the person who invited you and look at our vision for next year. We are building active wellness, and our goal is 10 million people practicing that, which means that's 10 million wellness homes. Imagine the difference. Imagine the impact on the society's welfare and economic viability. And imagine all those people living in harmony with nature, and those families, and the improved health and well-being. We could move right up there with Japan if we keep it this. So thank you so much again. And don't forget, you have choices. You can be a customer. You can upgrade to be a promoter, which is somebody, is a wellness promoter, somebody who wants to share the products. And you can also become a community builder, like Michelle and I, and so many of the other people that you'll meet along the way. So you're a great group of people. I can feel your energy even through Zoom. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Maggie, for an amazing presentation. And Michelle, thank you for sharing your story, and everyone for participating. This call is a regular call, as Maggie mentioned, every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. So if you have someone you'd like to share this information with, this is a really simple way to introduce someone to the whole concept. Tomorrow night, every Wednesday night, there is a special product presentation also on the same link that you used to get into this call. It's also starting at 8 p.m. and that's Eastern, and will feature a specific product in the product line. So you get to learn a little bit more about the Nikken products and the benefits. And we have a library of them accumulating as we go through them. And so if you're somebody who's just simply interested in the products, a great way to learn about the products. If you're someone looking at this as a business, think of the system, that here is a place where your customers can come and learn about the products and just simply leverage the tool and the system that's available. All the calls are recorded and they can also be shared. So if you have someone interested in a particular category or a particular product, you can just simply send them the video link and they can watch it on their own time at their leisure. Great part of the system. And if you like what you see in those 2 nights and you want to come back and learn more about the Nikken opportunity from a financial standpoint, I'll be one of your co-hosts to learn more about that on a Thursday night. Same link at 8 p.m. Please ask the person who invited you out tonight to share the details and make the invitation. Thanks everyone for coming, for joining, and please share this video if you like it with others. It will be in the recordings as well. Thanks, Maggie. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Good
Thank you.
night.